Hello guys, in this part of FoodMine course, we want to give this ugly header some style to make it beautiful like this. Let's see how. Okay, let's start from the bullet point. The first thing that we want to do here is adding general selectors to the style.css file. Okay, let's go to the code. Here inside the style.css, here we're gonna import fonts into the project. I found this font inside the Google Fonts. The first selector that we want to add is star selector that will select every single item inside our HTML file, and box sizing, border box. The default value of box sizing is content box. But the problem is, in the box sizing of content box, if you have a box with the width of 100 pixel and you give this box 15 pixel padding and 15 pixel border, your box width will be 130 pixel. That will make your box sizing very, very unpredictable. So it's the best decision. The first line of your CSS, right? Box sizing is equal to border box for every single element inside your HTML. After doing this, by for example setting your box width to 100 pixels, you can make sure that it will be 100 pixels in any cases. The next thing is for body. We want to change something inside body. Body has some margin by default. We don't want that. Margins should be 0. Font family should be quicksand. This font, let's copy this, paste it here. And if by any reason it could not load this quicksand font, we want to use sans serif. And the font size should be 18 pixel. Let's check out the result. As you can see, the font changed, and this is the quicksand font family. But we already have an underline at the bottom of our text. Let's remove it. Here we want to select all the anchor tags and set the text decoration to none. Let's check out the result. As you can see, there is no underline. We are done with the general selectors. Let's check this and let's go for adding header specific selectors to the header component CSS file. Okay, let's go to the code, header component folder, header component CSS file. The first thing that we want to give it some style is header itself. Header is an HTML tag once again. Its background should be white. Its padding should be 0. The border bottom should be 1 pixel solid, and this color, main color of the project. So let's check out the result. As you can see, we have this nice and smooth border bottom for our header. Let's get back to the code. Any selectors that you write here will be used specifically for this component. For example, if I add an A selector here, it will only select all the A elements inside this header component template file. That's one of the coolest features about Angular that will make your CSS files isolated and super maintainable, because you don't need to be worried about the conflict of CSS selectors inside the final result. Let's make its color. By default, the color of A should be this. As you can see, the color changed, but there should be a hover effect. As you can see, there is no hover effect. On hover effect, we need to change its background color. Whenever we hover our mouse, choose this background that is equal to this, and the color of white. So let's check out the result. Whenever we hover our mouse, it will be white and its background will be equal to this color. So it's fine, but it's already not so cool. Let's get back to the code and make it beautiful. Okay, let's close the Explorer and zoom in a little bit. Here we want to add some style to our container class. And margin should be 0 vertically and should be auto horizontally. Display should be flex We want a flex box and justify content should be space between. We want the two item here inside the container. This item, that is our logo, and this nav bar, that is our menu, to have space with each other as far as possible. In this case, one of them will be on the left side and the other one will be on the right side. That's exactly what we want. Let's check out the result. As you can see, one of them is on the left side and the other one is on the right side. Let's add some style to the logo. A.logo. Its font weight should be bold and its padding should be 1 EM. It will be 18 pixel because 1 EM means 1 multiplied by nearest font size in the ancestors of this current A tag. And the only tag that has font size is the body itself. So it will be 1 multiplied by 18. So it will be 18 pixels. Let's get back to the header component CSS file. Okay, let's check out the result. As you can see, it's a little bit bolder and 18 pixel padding from each side make it to be exactly on the middle. Okay, let's give some style to the cart menu on the right. So for nav UL, we want to write list style type, none. By default, it's on the circle, but we don't want that circle on the left side of the UL element item. The margin should be 0. By default, UL has some margin, but we don't want that margin. And for the nav UL LIA, a tag inside these ancestors, that here is the cart anchor tag itself. Its padding should be 1 EM, exactly like the logo style. The display should be inline block. Because by default, its display is inline and we can't give it some padding. Let's check out the result. Okay, as you can see, the header part is finished. In the next episode, we're going to focus at the Angular part of adding food images to the project. So stay tuned for the next episodes and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to not miss the future videos. And to that time, have a good life.